There are reports that your government was made aware of possible interference by the Chinese government in the 2019 election. Were you aware of any interference?
Justin Trudeau avoiding the most basic of questions. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist for the Toronto Sun. Since the whole scandal about election interference by China broke last November, when it resurfaced with vigor in February, Justin Trudeau has avoided answering any serious questions on these issues. He just tries to dodge and weave on whether he knew anything about it, what he knew, when he knew it. And it happened again this week. CTV's Your Morning put a very simply worded question, straightforward question to the Prime Minister, something he should be able to answer without endangering national security, and he didn't. Take a look.
Part of Mr. Johnson's role is to let you know whether or not there should be a public inquiry, but we wouldn't necessarily need Mr. Johnson in place if people felt they could get the answers from you they're looking for, which is, did you know that there was interference in those elections? Not prior to, but during that campaign. Were you made aware that there was interference?
We put together a panel so that that question could be looked at not by political leaders and parties who were all briefed up before the election and after the elections. And it's the experts who get to make that decision. Now, what was known and what was acted on, those are kinds of questions that involve highly sensitive issues of national security, which is where a public inquiry doesn't necessarily get into that, whereas the panel of parliamentarians that we have that have got top secret clearance to look into it in our NSI committee is from all different parties, get to look into that.
I think they'd really like to know it from you, but we can move on.
Now, this is a part of a pattern for Trudeau, and it has to lead you to wonder why he can't answer the questions, or why he won't. He could, but he refuses. It's not always a question of national security, but it is a question of protecting himself and his Liberal Party. Trudeau, his evasion just makes it seem like he and the Liberals are guilty of something, that they have something to hide. I've said from the beginning that China's election interference should be a nonpartisan issue. The Liberals have made it a partisan issue. Why? That I'm not sure about. But the way they act makes it seem like they're the only ones that don't want to get to the bottom of this. The Conservatives, the NDP, the Bloc, they've all called for Katie Telford to testify. The Liberals blocked that for weeks. They've all called for a public inquiry. Trudeau's delaying on that, putting it off on his family friend, David Johnston, to study the matter and get back to us in a couple of months. And when facing media questions, Trudeau again tries to do nothing but evasion, nothing but obfuscation. He doesn't want to answer these questions. He'll respond, but he won't answer. Again, this is just making it look like he's got something to hide, that he and his party are guilty. And I think that is what makes it a partisan issue, because the Liberals seem to be the only ones that don't want to get to the bottom of this. And the big question there is, why? I think you know the answer. Drop a comment down below, share this on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.